So, for anyone out there trying to scale a business, you know the feeling, right? Wearing way too many hats.
Oh, yeah. CEO, marketer, sales lead, accountant.
Exactly. And you
Yeah.
get stuck in that, oh, I'll just do it myself trap, which, often just leads to crazy hours constantly putting out fires.
Total burnout territory. 100-hour weeks easy.
Right. So today, let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive into Marblism. They're a Y Combinator startup just launched this year, 2025.
And YC, for anyone maybe not familiar, they back some really serious tech players, so definitely one to watch.
For sure. And Marblism's promise is pretty bold. AI employees to scale your business.
Hmm.
Our mission here is to figure out how they plan to deliver this, an affordable, instant, and genuinely proactive AI workforce to handle all those key business operations you might be drowning in right now.
Yeah, that proactive bit is key, I think.
It really is. And apparently this whole idea came straight from the founder, Ulrich Musset's own struggles.
That's right. He'd scaled his previous company, got it to like $5 million revenue, 65 people.
Which sounds like success, right?
You'd think. But he was still just bogged down, constantly reacting, putting out fires.
Until he hired some help.
Exactly. He brought on human virtual assistants, an EA, a LinkedIn ghostwriter, an SEO person.
Right.
And that, for him, was the game changer. It gave him incredible leverage.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he felt the power of delegation, of having that support.
Precisely. And what's fascinating here is how Marblism basically translates that personal aha moment into a scalable product. Ulrich saw how much leverage these specialized VAs provided.
But real.
That kind of support. It costs a fortune, like upwards of $2,000 a month per role. Most early stage founders just can't swing that.
Yeah, no way.
So Marblism is trying to democratize that specific kind of high level proactive support, making it accessible without that huge price tag.
Right.
They basically productized his solution using AI.
Okay, so the inspiration for human VAs is clear. But let's talk about the AI itself. They're offering these AI employees, executive assistant, social media manager, sounds good, and you can hire instantly. But lots of us are using AI tools already, right? How is this AI employee thing really different from, say, just a bunch of smart apps or a really advanced chatbot?
That is a really crucial distinction. So when they say AI employees, they're talking about something more than just prompts. These are designed as more sophisticated autonomous AI agents.
Autonomous agents, meaning?
Meaning they use large language models underneath, sure, but they also have persistent memory, they can set goals, they have a feedback loop. They don't just answer one question and forget.
Okay, so they learn and adapt over time.
Exactly. They can look at a situation, plan steps, even start tasks based on what they've learned about the company's goals, kind of like a human would.
And the fine-tuning, you mentioned they can match your style.
Right. That's not just feeding it data, it's adapting how the AI communicates, its decision-making, to really sound like your brand. It looks at, say, your last 100 social posts or emails to get that voice right.
So the social media manager wouldn't sound generic.
The goal is definitely not. And think about lead generation just running 24/7 in the background, proactively finding prospects based on criteria. No constant hand-holding needed.
That does sound powerful. But, for someone who's maybe been burned by tools that promised automation but needed constant tweaking, or maybe someone who really values that human touch.
Right.
How does an AI avoid sounding, robotic?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it comes back to that fine-tuning and the persistent memory. By learning your actual tone, your priorities, even little phrases you use,
Okay.
the output becomes really hard to distinguish from a person. It builds trust through being consistently on brand. I mean, honestly, just a few years back, I thought this level of proactive, contextual AI was maybe a decade off.
Right.
And now you see an AI assistant that doesn't just book a meeting, but flags a potential conflict based on your known habits. That's when employee starts feeling less like just a marketing term.
And are people actually using it?
Yeah.
What are the results like?
Well, the numbers they're sharing are pretty compelling. They've apparently onboarded over 11,800 businesses already?
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and they're claiming 92% customer satisfaction and users saving, on average, 10 plus hours a week.
10 hours a week. That's significant.
It really is. So the impact seems tangible.
So what does this really mean for you listening right now, if this works as promised?
Well, look, it's not just about getting time back, although that's huge, obviously. It's more fundamental. It's about shifting your focus as an entrepreneur.
Shifting from operator to strategist.
Exactly. Reducing that cognitive load. Instead of being constantly swamped by the day-to-day, reacting to everything, you actually get the headspace for strategic growth.
Right, thinking about the bigger picture.
You can actually chart new directions, spot market opportunities, maybe invest time in R&D, stuff that's just impossible when you're stuck in the operational weeds. You move from operator to, well, visionary maybe.
Okay, so the vision Marblism is selling is pretty clear, making that expert-level support affordable and accessible via these AI agents, letting founders take off some hats, focus on innovation.
It's definitely compelling, and it leads you to wonder, they mentioned getting feedback, people asking for things like an AI HR or people ops assistant.
How interesting. That gets complex.
Right. Handling compliance, onboarding, maybe even aspects of employee engagement. So the provocative thought I'd leave folks with is, what other really complex, maybe even deeply human-centric roles could these AI employees eventually take on?
Hmm.
How might that fundamentally reshape how businesses are structured, how they operate day to day? Could it even change what we mean by a workforce? It's certainly something to think about.